Hi, Zizaran here with another Ziz Reflects, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Diablo 2 Resurrected and the recent upcoming update, particularly the post about TCP/IP support. So I'll read it out for you. We initially announced the removal of TCP/IP support in our beta blog, noting that this functionality would not be present in the beta or in the final game, and we want to take this time to share our insight on why we removed this feature. Following the technical alpha, we learned that the functionality was enabling significant security related issues to our game. We're aware that removing this feature adds a large hurdle for our talented multiplayer modders in our community. Still, our priority is to keep the game's ecosystem as secure for all our players. Despite this change, a form of modding will still be possible. Players will have the ability to mod specific files which adjust values of skills, items, and more. However, keep in mind the classic client of Diablo 2 will still exist and is still not going away. Multiplayer mods will still be able to exist and thrive on that platform by our community there. That is awful. That is really, really bad. Um I am not part of the modding community, so I don't know what this like significant security risk is or if it's real. And as a player, I'm mostly left feeling like, wow, they're so scared of another Dota that they will burn everything to the ground. I think a lot of people feel like that. I've talked to a lot of other streamers as well that feel sort of the same way. I'm very excited for Diablo 2. There's a couple of reasons for that. The company making Diablo 2, Vicarious Visions, like the company remaking it, hasn't really had a miss so far. They've done some really, really good remasters. Um, so it's not like the same people that made like the Warcraft 3 Reforged, which obviously a lot of people are worried about, seeing as it's coming from Blizzard. So I'm not worried about the game itself, right? I think that's going to be great. I've played the beta. They've done an amazing job. It's a really cool remaster and a well-deserved one. Diablo 2 is a great game. And I do get that nostalgia feeling since I've played a insane amount of hours. So I get that nostalgia feeling. But how long is that going to last? I don't know for how long Diablo 2 Resurrected is going to be. And it will definitely like be worth the money for me. I definitely will get anywhere from like 200, probably 400 hours out of Diablo 2 Resurrected. So that definitely justifies the price point for me, right? But especially for newer players, people that are more used to modern games, then it might not hold up so well because there isn't that much to do in Diablo 2 Resurrected, right? From what I understand, they're not adding more content. I don't think they're going to keep patching the game, and obviously that would be a scary thing for them to do because then you'll have people going, not my Diablo 2. So if they did do updates, they would still probably have to have two branches, right? They'd have to have a classic that stays the way the community already likes it, and then keep progressing on a different branch. But with no updates, how long is the game really going to last? What are people going to do? Just Uber Trist and Mephisto and Balruns all day? Like how long does that really last for people? And you do have your diehard Diablo fans like Mr. Llama and stuff like that are still after so long time doing that and doing speedruns. But I think it's very sad because they have, as they even mentioned, talented multiplayer modders in their community like Path of Diablo, Project Diablo 2, and Median XL that are amazing games. And it would be a very big thing for the ARPG community if these things were continuing to grow. Because obviously, a big thing that's holding people back is the fact that they are so old, right? They are old engines that these are built on, even if the games are getting better and better. Um, and just the things like, so my favorite, my personal favorite is Path of Diablo. It adds like maps, Val orbs from Path of Exile, basically new skills, and it's a joy. It's really, really fun. I love playing it. This is a hard one, and it says we're removing this feature adds a large hurdle. Is this a hurdle that is even passable? Because I don't even know if it's something they want to be passable. It just seems like my takeaway from this is they just don't want mods. And from what I'm aware of talking to modders, I don't think any of them are interested in making specifically a single player mod. Like it's always been a community focused thing. So obviously these will still exist in D2, but it would have been just a very big thing for the ARPG world if they were able to get that new engine for multiplayer. I still hope Blizzard will reconsider this, maybe find a way to fix this significant security risk because there's such a large potential here for. I honestly feel like if Project Diablo 2, Path of Diablo, and Median XL was allowed to exist in Resurrected, it would flourish. It would be really popular games, really important part of the ARPG cycle. That's how I feel about it. I have ARPGs in a very like high standard where I want more hours out of an ARPG than I do from something like Witcher or Skyrim. I would say personally for maybe it's unfair, but for something like Witcher or Skyrim, I would be happy with like 40 to 60 hours played. Whereas from an ARPG, if I get less than 100 hours, I'm very surprised. I still think it's worth playing, especially if you do have that nostalgia feeling. But I do think people that aren't used to modern games will be in for a bit of a rude awakening. My prediction, I might be wrong. I would love to be wrong. I think the game will last around 4 to 6 weeks and then start dying down massively and get overshadowed by games that are getting updates and progression. So we'll see. Maybe they decide to do large updates for their game. That would be amazing. But I'm not holding my breath on that. And yeah, that's sort of my thoughts on D2R. I am still very excited, despite all this, to play it at launch. It's not something that's going to last a long time for me, I think. So let me know how you guys feel. If you, yeah, just I would love to hear your guys' thoughts as well, and if you feel the same way. So if you liked the video, thanks for watching. But more importantly, try to die less than I do.